Have you ever found yourself sitting quietly at home, the television humming softly in the background, and felt a little restless? Maybe it's a Sunday afternoon, and the world outside feels like it's rushing by, while inside, there's this strange, aching stillness. It's not exactly sadness. It's not exactly loneliness. It's something quieter, something that tugs at the edges of your heart and makes you wonder, is this it? Is this what these years are supposed to feel like? You're not alone in feeling that way. And more importantly, there's nothing wrong with you for feeling it. After 60, life naturally slows down. Friends move away. Family gets busy. Our daily routines shift. What once was filled with bustling noise and endless to-do lists now offers us a lot more space. And while that can feel unsettling at first, that space holds an incredible gift, if we know how to see it. Today, we're diving into something truly special. We're going to talk about how to find real, lasting peace in solitude, not loneliness, after 60. Because there's a huge difference between being alone and feeling lonely. One can drain you. The other can fill you up in ways you might not even expect. If you stay with me until the end of this video, I promise you'll come away with a new sense of hope, energy, and even excitement about these years ahead. But before we jump into it, can I ask a small favor? If you're enjoying this peaceful little moment with me, would you mind giving this video a like, sharing it with a friend who might need it, and subscribing to the channel? Your support helps me grow this community and reach more wonderful souls like you. Thank you so much, it truly means the world. Alright, let's settle in and talk about the first secret to finding peace in solitude after 60. It's simpler than you might think. It all starts with embracing your own company. Now, I know that might sound a little odd. We've spent most of our lives surrounded by people, co-workers, neighbors, family, kids, always someone needing our attention. So when the noise falls away, it can feel uncomfortable at first. But here's the truth, your own company is sacred. You are not an empty house. You are a beautiful library of memories, stories, wisdom, dreams, and when you learn to sit with yourself, really sit with yourself, you realize you are never truly alone. Think about a favorite memory. Maybe it's a beach trip you took years ago, or a simple afternoon spent baking with a grandchild. Those memories live inside you. That joy lives inside you. Solitude gives you the space to open those doors, dust off those beautiful moments, and relive them in a way that fills you up rather than drains you. It's like tending to a secret garden that belongs only to you. You don't have to share it. You don't have to explain it. It's yours. And that's something incredibly powerful. I remember a lady I met not too long ago at a local coffee shop. She was sitting by herself, sipping tea, smiling gently at her book. She looked so peaceful that I had to compliment her. She laughed and said, "Honey, it took me years to realize I'm my own best friend." And isn't that a beautiful thing? To reach a point where your own presence is enough. Where you can enjoy your own thoughts without judgment. Where silence isn't heavy, it's golden. Now, embracing your own company doesn't mean you stop loving people or needing human connection. It just means you stop needing noise to feel valuable. You start trusting that who you are, at your core, is not just enough, it's wonderful. As you start practicing this, little things can help. Maybe you pick a small ritual you do just for yourself. It could be having a cup of tea each morning while watching the sunrise. It could be keeping a little journal where you write down one beautiful thing you notice each day. It could be as simple as sitting on the porch and feeling the breeze on your face without rushing to check your phone or the news. These tiny moments of presence build up a deep well of peace inside you. They remind you that life is not measured by the noise we surround ourselves with, but by the richness of the quiet spaces we allow ourselves to feel. Now that we're beginning to see how important it is to embrace your own company, it's only natural that we talk about the next secret. Because once you start feeling comfortable with yourself, a new question often arises: what do I do with all this time and space I now have? And that leads us to something truly exciting: rediscovering your passions. You see, passions are like little fires inside us. Some have been burning brightly for decades, while others have been tucked away, barely flickering, waiting for us to come back and breathe life into them. After 60, when life slows down and the world grows quieter, it's the perfect time to dust off those forgotten dreams or even discover brand new ones you never had time for before. Maybe there's something you loved when you were younger that you let slip away. Painting. Gardening. Writing little stories. Maybe you always wanted to learn how to play piano, but life kept you too busy. Maybe you've never really thought about it, but there's a tiny tug in your heart every time you see someone out hiking, or someone talking about travel, or someone starting a tiny little business from their kitchen table. That tug, that's your spirit nudging you, saying, "Hey, I'm still here. Let's do something together." One of the most beautiful things about rediscovering passions after 60 is that there's no rush. There's no pressure. You're not doing it to impress anyone. You're not doing it to make a living or chase a trophy. You're doing it because it brings you joy, plain and simple. And that's a kind of freedom very few people ever get to experience. I remember talking to a gentleman at a community event last year. He must have been about 72, full of energy, grinning from ear to ear. I asked him what kept him so lively, and he chuckled and said, "Woodworking. I always loved it when I was a kid, but then came work, family, mortgages, you know how it goes. After I retired, I picked up some old tools at a garage sale and just started fiddling around. Now, every morning, I can't wait to get into my little workshop." His eyes lit up as he spoke. It wasn't about making perfect furniture. It wasn't about being the best. It was about the pure joy of creating something with his own hands. Your passion might not look like that. It might be painting little greeting cards for your friends. It might be learning to cook recipes from around the world. It might be joining a walking group in your neighborhood just to feel the rhythm of your feet hitting the pavement in the early morning light. Whatever it is, let it be something that brings you alive, even just a little. Even just for a moment. Those little sparks add up. They remind you that life, even in its quieter chapters, is still brimming with color and meaning. And don't be afraid to try new things. There's a myth that after a certain age, we're supposed to settle down into what we already know. But the truth is, curiosity doesn't have an expiration date. In fact, staying curious is one of the most powerful ways to keep your mind and spirit vibrant. Try a watercolor class at the local library. Volunteer at a museum. Learn a new language just because you like the sound of it. There's no right or wrong way to explore your passions, just your way. Now, while finding joy in your own company and reigniting your passions are beautiful steps toward finding peace in solitude, there's something even deeper we need to talk about. Something that isn't as flashy or as easy to explain. It's about learning how to be truly present with your life as it is right now. You see, so much of our discomfort in solitude doesn't come from being alone. It comes from being stuck in the past or worrying about the future. We replay old conversations, second-guess old decisions, wonder what might have been. Or we fast-forward our minds into tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now, imagining every possible thing that could go wrong. It's exhausting, isn't it? But when we anchor ourselves to the present moment, really anchor ourselves, something shifts. Peace seeps in through the cracks. Not the kind of peace that comes from everything being perfect, but the kind that comes from realizing that right here, right now, you are safe. You are enough. You are exactly where you are meant to be. One simple way to practice this is through what I like to call small noticing. The next time you sit outside, or even at your kitchen table, just start quietly noticing things. The way the sunlight plays on the floor. The sound of a bird chirping in the distance. The feeling of your breath moving in and out without you even having to try. You don't have to label anything as good or bad. You don't have to think too hard. Just notice. Just be. At first, your mind will want to wander. That's okay. Gently bring it back. It's like training a puppy, with patience and kindness. Over time, you'll start to realize that the present moment is always offering you tiny gifts. A laugh. A breath. A glimmer of light. And when you live more fully in the present, solitude stops feeling like an empty room and starts feeling like a sanctuary. There's a lovely story about a woman I once knew, a retired teacher named Mrs. Wilkins. Every morning, she would take her coffee out onto her back porch and just sit quietly for 15 minutes. No phone. No TV. Just her coffee, and the morning air. She told me once that it was the best part of her day. It reminds me that life isn't happening somewhere else, she said. It's happening right here. And that's the gift that solitude offers us, if we let it. The chance to step out of the endless noise of worry and regret and step into the simple, sacred beauty of now. So, if you're feeling uncertain about all the quiet space in your life these days, know this: it's not empty. It's full of possibilities. It's full of you. You just have to learn how to see it, feel it, and cherish it. Now that we've explored how embracing your own company, rediscovering your passions, and being present in the moment can transform solitude into something truly beautiful, there's one more secret that ties it all together, something that might just be the most powerful gift you can give yourself in this season of life. That final secret, the one that ties everything together, is learning to nurture a deep sense of self-compassion. I'm not just talking about being kind to yourself when you make a mistake, though that's part of it. I mean really choosing to be your own greatest supporter, your own closest friend, day after day, especially in those quiet moments when no one else is around. You see, when we're young, we're often taught to push ourselves, to be critical when we fall short, to believe that being hard on ourselves is how we grow. But after 60, after all the life you've lived, all the challenges you've overcome, all the love you've given and losses you've endured, the last thing you need is more judgment. What you need, what you deserve, is grace. It's easy to think that solitude will feel empty if we aren't constantly busy or needed by others. But what actually fills that space, what gives it richness and meaning, is the relationship you have with yourself. If you sit alone and your mind is full of harshness, doubts, regrets, no wonder it feels lonely. But if you sit alone and feel warmth, understanding, forgiveness, if you sit with someone who truly cares for you, then solitude becomes not a punishment, but a comfort. A homecoming. And let me tell you, learning to speak gently to yourself, especially when old habits want to pull you into negativity, is one of the bravest things you can do. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about saying, I see where I've been, I see where I am, and I'm still worthy of kindness. Even when you stumble. Even when you're unsure. Especially then. There's a little trick I like to share, something that's helped me and so many others I've talked to over the years. When you catch yourself thinking something critical about yourself, maybe about how you look, or something you forgot, or something you wish you'd done differently, pause. Take a breath. Then imagine you were talking to a dear friend instead of yourself. What would you say to them? Would you scold them? Or would you put a hand on their shoulder and say, it's okay. You're doing just fine. I'm proud of you. Practice saying those kinds of things to yourself. Even if it feels awkward at first. Over time, it becomes more natural. Over time, it becomes a new voice inside you, not the voice of fear or regret, but the voice of love. Your own love. That's the kind of company that makes solitude not only bearable but truly nourishing. I met a woman named Marlene at a workshop a few years ago. She had recently lost her husband and was struggling with the silence that filled her home. At first, she told me, she couldn't stand the loneliness. She filled every moment with television, phone calls, anything to avoid being alone with her thoughts. But little by little, she began practicing self-compassion. She would sit quietly each morning and simply place her hand over her heart and say, I'm here for you. I love you. I'm proud of you for making it through another day. She said it felt silly at first. But over time, it changed everything. The silence of her house didn't feel like a hollow emptiness anymore. It started to feel like a sanctuary, a place where she could meet herself with tenderness instead of fear. It's like I became my own companion, she said. And surprisingly, I like her. That's the magic. That's the real gift hidden inside solitude after 60. It's not about enduring loneliness or fighting boredom. It's about becoming the kind of person you genuinely love to be around. It's about discovering that you, just as you are enough to fill the room with peace. So if you ever find yourself feeling uneasy in the quiet moments, if you ever feel that little ache of emptiness creeping in, I invite you to pause. To breathe. To say something kind to yourself, even if it's just a whisper. Remind yourself that you are not alone. You are with someone who has walked through storms, who has loved and lost and loved again, who has wisdom written into every laugh line and silver hair. You are with someone extraordinary, yourself. And if today you're feeling strong, that's wonderful. And if today you're feeling a little fragile, that's okay too. Both are beautiful. Both are human. Both are signs that you are living a real, meaningful life. Before we wrap up, I want you to remember this: peace isn't something we stumble upon by accident. It's something we create, moment by moment, choice by choice. By embracing your own company, by rekindling your passions, by living fully in the present, and by treating yourself with tenderness, you build a life that feels rich and whole, no matter who else is or isn't sitting beside you. I would love to hear your thoughts, your stories, your experiences. If you feel comfortable, share them in the comments below. How have you found peace in your own life? What little habits or thoughts have made a difference for you? Your words might be just what someone else needs to hear today. And if this video brought you even a little bit of encouragement, please give it a like, share it with a friend who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every like, every share, every new subscriber helps this community grow, and helps me continue to create heartfelt, meaningful content just for you. You are not alone on this journey. You are surrounded by a community of kindred spirits, all finding their way, step by step, just like you. And every day is a brand new chance to choose peace, to choose joy, to choose love. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Until next time, remember, you are enough. You are deeply loved. And the best chapters of your story are still being written.